Hey everyone, welcome to Pineapple Knits, a knitting and spinning videocast. I'm Marina, and you can find me everywhere on the web at Pineapple Yarn, especially Instagram where I'm most active. And you can visit my hand-dyed yarn, fiber, and candle company at pineappleyarn.com. Thank you so much for joining me again this week, and if you're new to the podcast, welcome. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you consider subscribing and liking if you like my content. So I hope you all have had a really great week. It has been cold here in the coastal South Carolina region. Of course, being the end of January, that's just the way things go, isn't it? But needless to say, I am ready for some warmer weather. I think I'm gonna have to wait at least another probably month and a half for it, but that's okay because I'm not done with my sweater yet and I need some time to wear it. What I've been drinking today is my normal blueberry superfruit tea from Stash. I've been obsessed with this tea. I don't know what it is. I love tea that has a really strong flavor, and this is it. It tastes so good, and it doesn't have caffeine in it, I don't think. And yeah, I can get it on Amazon for like 100 bags of tea in a box, so you can't beat that. This is what I'm drinking from Amazon. It's great. And I should share what I am wearing today as well. I am wearing my Cubetcha shawl by Casapinka, and I knit this in the purple Passionflower colorway. This is my yarn, and I just love this pattern for several reasons. I'm going to go ahead and take it off so you can see it. This is a one skein pattern, and it works so well with that crazy speckled skein that you're not really sure what to do with besides socks. So this is a really fun alternative to that. And it is a boomerang shaped shawl, which I love. And it has all these really fun little cubes or squares all the way down one of the sides. As you can tell, this is a really long shawl, and I enjoyed this so much. I enjoyed knitting it. It was a fun challenge with all of the cubes, but it wasn't so challenging where you couldn't take with you. It was definitely a portable project or a TV project. You just had to keep track of which rows you needed to knit the cubes on. It was really great. So I highly recommend this pattern. As you can tell, just adds some really fun interest. And I actually made this, I should say, this was on a skein of my British BFL. So it's a superwash Blue Face Leicester wool, and it is so soft, but it's really warm because it just has that slight bit of toothiness. But I'm wearing it next to skin, and it is not, it's not itchy at all, so it's really great. But I've wanted to make this in like a yellow color. I have a dress that has a little bit of yellow in it, and then it has other neons, and I just thought yellow would be so pretty, but I think that's been on my mind for a year, so add it to the list, right? Anyway, Cubetcha shawl, love it. It was just a really fun pattern to knit, and it's a great one skein project. I'm also burning one of my candles from my Glow Club. This is New Beginnings. It's from my January Glow Club. And I think I had mentioned on one of my podcasts is that I put it in one of my sad cracked mugs that I really liked and I didn't want to get rid of. But this one is actually, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's footed, and so it's really sturdy. It's perfect for putting a candle in. So I actually have two finished objects this week, which is really fun. They are both socks. The first one is a pair of socks that I knit on my circular sock machine. It is an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster, and I can't say how much I love it. I have had so much fun with it, and it was, and still is, has such a learning curve. But the projects that I have been able to master have been just amazing. So these are the socks, I knit this from the LOWCOUNTRY Club from Pineapple Yarn, and I believe this was January. It was called Charleston Green. And this was a mock rib sock. And I'm going to go ahead and show you a close-up while I just kind of go through what I did. So the way I knit this pattern is I did a 20 row hung hem, and then the mock rib is formed by just removing one of the needles every 4 rows. And I did explain this a little bit last week. I just did a short row heel all the way down, and then the toe is the same kind of just basic short row toe. And I believe this is a Madeline Tosh. I'm not really sure what color this is. Now, I do know on the other sock, I ran out of yarn. I did not measure, I didn't weigh, I just kind of knit. I just needed to knit and not think about it. But I ran out of yarn, and so I just kind of improvised there. But this color is Big Sur, which was one of my favorite Madeline Tosh colors, which I believe is now retired, sadly. But that was so pretty. So it kind of had a little patchy toe, but I don't care because they're just for me. And really, I believe I showed you the socks I made last week, and they were also the mock rib hung hem socks. And so I wanted to knit up a pair just so I remembered all the techniques, and I did. So I was really proud of these. Yeah, and I thought the yarn knit up really, really pretty too, with all of these pretty speckles. There were a lot of colors I put into this colorway, so it was just so fun to see all knit up. Hey, so I am really excited I can wear these now that I've shown you on the podcast. I also wanted to show you my sock blockers too. I use these all the time, but I wanted to show you without the yarn on them because they are so beautiful in real life. These are from Marcia of Knitting Left, and she is also in South Carolina, which is really fun. But look how beautiful. I love, this is my favorite part right here. Look at all of the beautiful variations in that wood. But they are so smooth, sanded well. They have some kind of finish, probably a polyurethane or something, so these don't snag on my socks. And as you can tell, I bought these around St. Patrick's Day. I think I bought them last year, and they are so fun. But if you're looking for just a really, really beautiful pair of sock blockers, I would recommend looking at hers. And I do hope I can find a spot in the studio because I really want to hang these up on the wall. The next pair of socks I want to show you are, I guess, the finished pair from the last week. The mock rib socks, and here they are. I think they're so cool. This was just a yarn that I had. It was a pineapple yarn deep stash, and I had saved these for just knitting and whatnot. I do have to say, this is so funny. If you look at these, you can tell this one's longer than this one, which is crazy because I had written down instructions of how I was knitting these on my circular sock machine. And I don't know if I lost count. I don't know what happened. This one's obviously much longer than this one. I have no idea. So what I did with the sock last week, I was critiquing the sock I had made, and I had made a lot of mistakes. It was the first one of this design I had knit up. So I frogged it, and I used the yarn to make another one. And I don't know which one of these was the first or which one was the second. I guess in total I've made 3 of these socks now. Just the first, completely the first one I have frogged and used it for one of these. But yeah, I mean, even though one is slightly longer than the other, right now, everything I'm making is, let's just say I'm saving all my really special yarn, you know, self-striping yarn I've purchased from other dyers. I am not knitting with that right now. And I know I always tell you and I always say that you should just use the yarn that you have, but yeah, I'm still practicing. So I don't mind that one's longer than the other. I will still wear them. So I wear wool socks every day. Anytime I have sneakers on, when I work here in the studio, I always wear sneakers. I always wear wool socks, even when it's hot out. Now, in the summer, I do wear shorty socks, but I wear these all the time. So it's kind of nice to have an extra pair, and I don't really care what they look like. So yeah, but anyway, I feel like I have this technique down, which is really great. And the projects for these socks are actually in the Erlbacher Gearhart. It's a manual that comes with the machine, and it's kind of nice because there's a list of all the projects. The next project I have after this one is the ribber, and so I'm just not there yet. I'll probably make some more plain socks, and maybe just hone my technique a little bit, and yeah, then I'll get to the ribber. The next project I've been working on is my Inside Story sweater by Heidi Kirrmaier. I am using Cook Pine, which is one of my new colorways, and it is so beautiful. I'm still in love with this color, so that's good because I still have a little bit of work to do on it. I have knit I've knit the whole body, I've knit the entire sleeve, and I've started on the second sleeve. So I am getting there. I think it is so beautiful. I just really love this colorway. I loved dyeing it. I just really can't say enough great things about it. So yeah, the fun thing is about this sweater is that when I get done with the second sleeve, I will turn it inside out and knit the turtleneck on it. So it will be a reverse stockinette. It will make the rib on the sides more pronounced. So this is the way it will look, which is really great. And yeah, I think I will like the reverse stockinette. I think it will be really nice. I tried this on to make sure that the sleeve was as long as I wanted it, and it feels so good. I cannot wait till it's ready. So I've definitely, all this cold weather has been great motivation to get going on the sweater. I am knitting this pattern with needle sizes one size smaller than is recommended in the pattern, and that is normal for me. I'm a loose knitter. Across the board, I always use one size smaller. So I believe that is a US 5 and 6. That's what I've been using. And it's a worsted weight sweater, so it has been knitting up quickly. I use Addy clicks, which is an interchangeable set. They are very fast and slippery, and I love that. Cook Pine, like I said, I dyed this on my original worsted base, which is a 100% superwash merino wool. It's just a really great twist, kind of just an all-purpose yarn. So it's not, it shows cables and it shows texture, but it's not a really firm yarn either. I love it, and it's been so great knitting with. I've really, really enjoyed it. And the pattern, trying to think all of the details about this pattern. I am knitting the S1 size as well. So far, I think this fit is going to be really great too, because this is the same designer who wrote the Sunshine Coast sweater pattern. And if you've been watching the podcast for a while, I love the fit of that sweater. And I would definitely love to make it again. I have a few acquisitions I'd like to share with you today, and the first one is the Hedgehog Fibers Fiber Club for January. So if you haven't received it, skip ahead, and so you don't have the surprise spoiled. When I opened this, I gasped. I think because it was just so different than what I was expecting, but this is the fiber for January, and it is totally different than any other fiber I have received from them. It's dark, which I haven't received anything dark, but it's all these beautiful kind of plums and blues. This side is definitely, it's just so moody. I'm sure once I start to spin with it, I will find all different kinds of colors, like this pop right here. Oh, I cannot tell you how much I love it. So, yay, this was so, so beautiful. I love this rust in here. So this is a 100% merino wool. It says it's obviously a comb top, and they say it's a custom blend. And one thing I really love that that Hedgehog Fibers has been doing in their clubs is they will have this blend of fiber that is partially dyed before it's blended. So if you see all of these black stripes in here, they took dark fiber and blended it with undyed fiber and made this blend. And then they went and dyed kind of the plums and the blues and everything on top of that. So you just have a really neat effect from that. And it was just, I don't know, I think that's really thoughtful and creative. So I wanted to share that with you. I didn't do any spinning this week. I don't know why. I just didn't. I just didn't get to it. So I'll have to make sure to make that a priority this week. The other acquisition that I wanted to show you this week is from Yarrow & Co. From a really wonderful maker, Eden. And she sent me the cutest little pineapple progress keeper. And so I wanted to purchase a couple more progress keepers from her shop because she's just really creative and I wanted to support her shop. So I'm going to show you what I received in the mail. This first one is super cute, and it is a unicorn frappuccino. I really hope you can see that. It is so detailed. Look at that little straw. You have the clear cup rim on the top and the whipped cream. And I'm sorry you have to look at my terrible manicure or not manicure. Dyeing yarn tears up my hands, and I wear gloves and it still doesn't matter. I guess it is just working with your hands. What can I say? So this is really, really, I love the unicorn frappuccino. I have never had one, and I probably won't because it has so much sugar, but I thought that was really cute. The second one is kind of the same, but it is kind of a chocolate. This is on a gold clasp, which is really pretty. There's just so many little details on the top. So cute. And then the third one is perfect for summer, and maybe I just thought that if I purchased this that summer would come faster. Is the cutest little watermelon. I think that would be, this will be so fun to knit with. Look at the rind, how cute is that? So that's what I purchased for her, or from her, and I will link to her shop down below in the description. So if you are looking for some really cute charms and progress keepers, she is just such a fun maker. And so that is really all I have been working on this week. Just a quick reminder that the Pineapple Yarn monthly clubs will be over, the pre-orders, on the 31st, and then on February 1st the next month's, the March pre-orders will begin. So if you are interested in the February pre-orders, make sure to get your pre-order in before the 31st and check it out. I also did want to point out that I added a 20-gram mini skein to each of those listings. So if you're interested in maybe getting a full 100-gram skein plus an add-on of a 20-gram skein, that is now an option. And then with my Glow Club, you can now buy the candle only as a pre-order. So that's a really fun option as well. Also, thanks to all of you who shopped my shop update last week. It was really fun, and I hope that you found something you loved. I'm going to be dyeing yarn this week for the shop update next week. And let me know if you liked how I split up the video last week. So last week what I did is I did the podcast separately from the shop update content. I'd love to know what you think, if you liked that split between the two. So that's all I have to talk about this week. If you like the podcast, I'd love if you'd give it a thumbs up or consider subscribing. I always really appreciate that. And until next time, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.